little NFL update for you, Stephen A. The NFL announced this morning that the opening game to the season will be the defending champs, the Eagles, against Dallas and Philadelphia. Stephen A., did the NFL make the right call with this
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. It'll be an incredible rating, no doubt, way to open the season. But an NFC East rivalry game, if that's what you want to call it, because obviously the Eagles are the champions and the Cowboys are who they are. But the point is that I want to see a few games under their belt before a division rivalry takes place, since it means so much. I would have liked to see Dallas against a Kansas City or Baltimore or something like that, where you're not being affected by a divisional race. I don't think divisional races should open the season. That's my only issue.
I think it's a good litmus test early for those Dallas Cowboys.
No, I think you go to training camp or whatever. I mean, whatever the Eagles are on week one.
Don't tell me no. It's my opinion.
I don't think the football gods could have given Stephen A. better gift than the first game of the season.
Because he could just go down 95?
And it's the post game, on X, social media. That. It's perfectly set up for that, by the way.
But be clear. Bless you.
That was bless. It's a cough, Stephen A.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be just sneezing. By the way, I've always felt that way.
I said, why is it that
you're just blessing me because I can't stop coughing? Thank you for that.
Oh, who said that? Who came up with that?
I'll take all those blessings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for those.
Take them. Don't debate with me, and I'll give you a blessing.
Thank you.
Take them.
Thank you. I need the blessing.
That's all it is.
Oh, it's a struggle bus here this morning, everybody, but I got some breaking news for you.
In 15 days until the NFL season kicks off, and guess what? We found out today that things will kick off in Philadelphia with the defending Super Bowl champs taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The opening game between the two NFC East rivals will be held on Thursday, September 4th from the Lincoln Financial Field. In 2 games last season, the Eagles beat the Cowboys by a combined score of 75-13. However, both of these teams saw some big changes this offseason. The Cowboys made a change at head coach, firing Mike McCarthy and promoting Brian Schottenheimer. Offensively, they added George Pickens last week, but lost offensive lineman Zach Martin to retirement. For Philadelphia, they'll need to replace some big names on defense, including Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. NFL insider Dan Graziano, NFL analyst Damian Woody, and betting analyst Tyler Fulgham are here with us now. Okay, Dan and Damian, starting with you. Answer this question first. How do you view the gap between the Cowboys and Eagles as they prepare to face each other in Week 1? D. Wood, going to you first.
Yeah, I still look at the Philadelphia Eagles as the runaway favorite in the NFC East. Not much has changed for the Philadelphia Eagles outside of the, with Kellen Moore moving on to becoming the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and Kevin Patullo is now the offensive coordinator. I can't imagine the scheme is going to drastically change. Obviously, every coordinator is going to throw their own flavor into what they like to call, but I mean, listen, you got Saquon Barkley, in the backfield. You got all the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles have. They're returning 4 out of the 5 starting offensive line. Their defense is young and very talented. So for me, this is Philadelphia's division to lose.
Yeah, I mean, look, Philadelphia is an incredibly high standard to hold yourself to right now. You could make a case that outside of a 6-week stretch at the end of the 2023 season, they have been the best team in football for the last 3 years. So the Cowboys are trying to catch now. Now, that said, the Cowboys did catch them and win the NFC East 2 seasons ago. And Shay, those 2 head-to-head games you mentioned both occurred without Dak Prescott, who is expected to be back and healthy for the start of the season. So when you talk about what the Cowboys have added on offense, you absolutely have to count that. George Pickens, they think, will help, obviously, at wide receiver. They think they drafted in a manner that will help them replace Zach Martin, and they believe the offense will get a boost from the return of its quarterback. He's had 6 fully healthy seasons in his NFL career. The Dallas Cowboys have won the division in 4 of those. So I think the gap, we probably forget a little bit. This is a Cowboys team that managed to win 7 games last year, even though its starting quarterback got hurt midway through. So while the Eagles are a tough team to catch, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the Cowboys could close that gap.
We've forgotten so quickly, it feels like, haven't we, Dan Graziano? I'm surprised with you, but now we'll ask Tyler what he thinks about this situation. Give me some good bets for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at futures for this Cowboys team, one that I really love is them going over 7.5 wins. Why is that? Because Dak Prescott's been a starting quarterback for 9 years in the NFL. The Cowboys have won at least 8 games in 7 of those 9 seasons. Shay, the only time they did not win 8 or more games is when Prescott missed more than half the games due to injury, 2020, 2024. So as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, you can pretty much bank on the Cowboys winning at least 8 games. So that's my favorite, is the win total over 7.5. Now, for Cowboys fans, I want to point you to the bottom two there. 9+ wins or to make the playoffs. These are plus money bets. And you were talking about the gap between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are actually closer to the Commanders than the Commanders are to the Eagles. And most people say, wait a second, the Commanders are easily the second best team. They could challenge the Eagles for this division. I don't think so. I think the Cowboys, with a healthy Dak Prescott, some of the moves they made this offseason, are a more legitimate threat to the Commanders as the second best team than the Commanders are to the Eagles as the best team in this division.
Are we forgetting that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year? Guys, we're not talking about a team that just got into the playoffs like the Commanders. The Cowboys and the Eagles are very far apart from one another. Graz, jump in on this.
This is the part where I remind you that it's been 21 years since the same team has won the NFC East 2 years in a row. Weird things happen in the NFC East. These teams are very competitive with each other. They're crunched very close together. The Cowboys are going to play a third-place schedule with their starting quarterback healthy after a year in which he missed half the season. Don't be surprised if they win more games than we're expecting them to win as we sit here in the middle of May.
Okay, it should also be pointed out, Damien, as you jump in here, that right now the Eagles are favored by only 6.5 points. That doesn't feel like a lot of points to me. Damien, what do you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, this is the week 1. Remember, on paper, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the National Football League. But when it comes to week 1, anything goes, anything happens. You got to remember the Cowboys have a new head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. We don't know what they're going to throw out there, so anything can happen, and that's why I think the spread is what it is.
Okay, well, let's dive more on the other side of it. Let's dive in on the Eagles, right? They have a new offensive coordinator, but in terms of the biggest question mark, Damien, back to you, what do you have for the Eagles as they try and run it back?
Well, Shay, you just pointed out, new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. We know that I don't think they're going to deviate far from the scheme that Kellen Moore ran, but he is a new offensive coordinator. Seems like almost every year, Jalen Hurts has to deal with a new offensive coordinator. How is this coordinator going to, how is the quarterback offensive coordinator relationship is going to be? How is he going to call games? And how are in-game adjustments? Those are things that bears watching as we watch the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Yeah, we know they got Saquon Barkley. We know all the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles have. But we have to watch how this offensive coordinator is going to call these games.
Okay. For the record, Jalen Hurts has had 5 different offensive coordinators since he joined the Eagles. It's been a lot. But, Dan, what are you hearing about the Eagles' plans on their OC, or on their offense, I should say, with their new OC?
Well, the big word you hear is continuity, and they believe that, Kevin Patullo, who worked very closely with Kellen Moore last year and has worked with Nick Sirianni for quite a number of years, will be able to, keep things largely the same. The personnel very much the same on the offensive side of the ball in terms of players for the Eagles. A lot of change on defense, not so much on offense. So there are questions. He's a first-time play caller. What will he be like as a play caller? Although he should probably call this one a lot where Saquon runs for 70 yards. That's a good play that he should be able to lean on. But this was an excellent running team last year. Historically great rushing attack. Inconsistent a little bit with the passing attack.